Has anything ever made you feel scared on the job?
We have these red buttons on our radios. If somebody presses that red button, your heart stops because you're just like, where is it, officer? Where are my keys? I'm going. Hi.
Hi. Do you think the police are sexist?
No, in a word. And I can only talk about my experience in our force, but I think every sort of issue that might be in policing in relation to sexism or racism or against disabilities or any of those kind of issues, there's something in place to try and tackle that. So I just know with policing now that there's a zero tolerance to it. And if someone was to then report it to a manager, it's then dealt with, or, you know, things are in place to not allow that to continue, and that is the difference.
Has anything ever made you feel scared on the job?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, absolutely. And you're only human at the end of the day. But of course, when you're driving to something, the adrenaline's going, you're like, what am I going to be facing? What gets you through that is knowing that you've got a team behind you. So you're never on your own. It's almost like a family, as cliche as that sounds. It really is. If something, I've heard things over the radio. We have these red buttons on our radios. They're like an alarm, which if somebody presses that red button, your heart stops because you're just like, where is it, officer? Where are my keys? I'm going. Like, it's just your mentality, because you just look out for each other. The fear is there, but you've got people to back you up.
That's amazing. Did you always want to be a detective?
Yes, I think I always did. I kind of knew that was where I wanted my career to go. Getting an investigation, getting a case, and really picking it apart, who's done what and who's involved and why, and not knowing really what you could be going to. You could come into work one day and think, right, this is what I'm doing today. This is what I need to do. This is my to-do list. And then something happens and you're going. Doesn't matter what you've planned. And you have to switch into that mode and deal with that. And, there's not many jobs really where it is like that. And that's what keeps it fresh, even for like 15 years in the job.
Do you think there's anything that gives you an edge over your male counterparts?
From a personal point of view, I think being a female from a Black minority ethnic background and having kids, I think that makes me quite unique. And I'm quite proud of the opportunities I have to do things that can potentially open doors for other people to see that actually you, being somebody unique, can have a really big voice in somewhere like policing. And if you are new coming in and you want to see those women in those managerial positions, you want to see them high ranking and think, actually, I could get there. It isn't just all men at the top.
Do you find it difficult juggling being a mother and being in the police as well?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. My husband's in the police as well. And we've got 3 children. So for quite a few years, we have had to be on opposite shifts and literally, passing ships in the night at times. But the police is good there are opportunities to do flexible working. They do recognise that obviously most people are going to have children or other sort of caring responsibilities. So there are things in place to make it easier. But yeah, it is hard.
Do you ever feel a little bit like you're a detective mum? So finding out, OK, who's done what?
Yes, without a doubt. I do find myself questioning my children in an interview technique style at times. I can actually see like an interview process going around in my head and I'm like, these are my kids. But to be honest, it works. So I'm going to probably carry on with that.
It's great training.
Yeah, good training, yeah.